Now, I've been addicted to watching porn and masturbating for 6 years straight, and now I have finally been free. Now, I know, bro, how much it sucks to relapse, that feeling of guilt, that feeling that you just relapsed and you just feel so bad, man. You could have just stayed in the fight. You could have just not done it, but you did it. I'm actually gonna tell you a story. So, there was this one time I fapped. I fapped probably 3 times. Like, I was just so horny. I did it 3 times in a row. And watching porn, opening models, and I just felt so guilty and so bad, man. I just felt disgusting after that. Now, after I did it, you know what I did? I grabbed my journal and I told myself, I asked myself, why did I relapse? Why did I do this? And I found out that every single time I had relapsed, I had done it, I had, fapped, I did it in my bed. Every single time I did it in my bed. I did it in a certain place. So I told myself, what if I stopped doing it in my bed? What if I was in my bed and every time I got an urge, I got up and I just sat somewhere else? I wouldn't get horny and therefore I would not fap. And right when I understood that, I stopped fapping. And another thing I realized is every time, I had a sort of routine of fapping, if that makes sense. I would get a thought, I would have think of a dirty video or something bad, and then I would start literally humping my pillow, getting really hard, getting my dick hard, and then I would get really horny, then I would start fapping. So I told myself, what if I didn't hump my pillow? Right when I realized those two things, that I always fap in my bed and I always start humping my pillow, then I start fapping. Right when I realized that, I stopped fapping forever. Now, bro, if you just relapsed from, you were going so good, you were getting the benefits, you were getting very happy, it was pretty good, it was all good, but then you relapsed. Don't beat yourself up, bro. Please, bro, don't beat yourself up. I know it feels bad, I know it sucks, but just don't beat yourself up. What happened, happened, and the single greatest thing you can do if you just relapsed, and what will actually, in my opinion, what will actually make you stop fapping forever is to is to learn from the relapse. This is what you should do. This is why relapsing is actually kind of a good thing, because it teaches you why you're doing it. Like I did, I realized that I was fapping because, first of all, I was in my bed, and I realized that there were certain steps that I was doing to get me to fap. I would start thinking, then I would start, getting hard and humping my pillow, then I would, start jacking off, right? Maybe you're like me. You always fap in a certain place and there's always steps, or you could learn something else. You need to get a piece of paper and a pen and you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I keep relapsing, bro? I promise you, if you do that just once, you don't need to do it anymore, you will stop fapping forever. You need to understand, bro, that the world basically works in cause and effect. Everything has cause and effect. Every single thing you do has a cause and has an effect. And the world, the fundamental rule of the law of the world is the law of cause and effect. I know this is so simple. You probably took this when you're in school, But if you actually understand this, you would break you could do literally anything. If you actually understood this, you could break any habit or build any habit. Now, I'll give you some examples, then I'll get onto fapping. Now, what's a good cause and effect? Example, when you work out and you eat protein and you sleep, you build muscle. That's the effect. So because you worked out, you ate protein and you slept well, you built muscle. That's a good cause and effect. Now, because you read books, you get knowledge as an effect. You see where I'm going here? Like, when you meditate, right, you feel relaxed and happy. Right? So everything works on cause and effect. Like, I'll give you a good one here. Because you make 100K per month and you're jacked, because you have these things, you have very high social status, which is the main thing to attract women, which is high status. High status in the social hierarchy. You're basically an alpha male, so you get women, basically. You get girls. Right? I'm trying to explain this in like a simple way, but relapsing works in the same way. So we have the effect here, which is relapsed. You relapsed. You have to figure out the cause, because you relapsed. You know that's the effect. Now, what is the cause? Now, the way to figure out the cause is by just journaling. You have to just think about the cause. This is how you actually stop fapping, by the way, is you have to figure out the cause of relapsing. Not only just fapping and watching porn, it's any bad habit. Like, why do you play video games? Why do you do this? Why do you do that, right? This is how you stop any bad habit. Now, I realized from like journaling and things like that, because of my physical location, and because, what do I call it? Like, the steps. I relapsed. So when right here, when I changed physical location and I broke the steps, I stopped relapsing, basically. You get it? You get what I mean? You have to figure out the cause, because relapsing is an effect. You have to figure out the cause. Why did you relapse? All right? I promise you, if you do this, you will never fap again, ever again in your life. Because the world works in cause and effect. It works in this law. It always works in cause and effect. Every effect has a cause, and every cause has an effect. All right? And what I realized after relapsing for 6 years, 6 years, bro, and it's probably the same thing for you, the same cause for you, is I was relapsing because of my physical location. I was in the place that I usually fap in, and because I I didn't break the steps. I was always doing the same steps. I didn't break the chain, basically. And this is what you need to do. So I stopped fapping by just, first of all, changing my environment. Instead of sitting in my bed all day, I was sitting on my desk. Like when I got an urge, I would sit somewhere else and I would stop getting that urge. And instantly when I did that, I stopped getting urges ever, and therefore I stopped relapsing, basically. And the second thing I did was I broke the steps. I realized that every single time I relapsed, I did it because there were certain steps that I would do that would lead to relapsing. So I would get a thought, right? I would think of something, and that would lead to me, to start hopping my pillow and getting hard, and then I would start relapsing. Then I would start fapping. So when I just cut the habit of humping my pillow and getting hard, I didn't relapse. The best thing to do when you relapse is to learn from it. Learn from it. And if you do that, you will never relapse again, ever in your life. And as always, bro, we're in this together and we're gonna make it. Promise you, we're gonna make it together. Peace, take care.